I've been homeless since my mother died in like 95, and now I'm 40 years old. Now, mostly they say people who's in the street supposed to be crazy or something wrong with them. I'm gonna let you know right now, people, I mean, some people got problems, but majority of people living in the streets is one of the smartest people alive, because we gotta go through things that normal people can't go through. I'm a dancer. I'm all over YouTube and Facebook, and the reason why I do that, because simple fact is that, yeah, I do it for the money, but I do it for the other things, because ain't nothing F-R-E-E, ain't nothing free.
On an average day, the Soup Kitchen serves about 200 people. Sometimes in the summer, our numbers are a bit lower and we'll serve 150. At our peak in January and February, we can serve as many as 325 individuals a day. And we're open 365 days a year for anyone in need, no questions asked. And that's families, that's moms with babies, we've got the elderly, we've got the disabled, mentally ill, and the homeless. We have a social worker. She gives out sleeping bags with a plastic bag to anybody who's homeless. That way they can spread out the plastic bag so that the coldness and the dampness don't seep up into the sleeping bag. We give out food that people can take home. But one day we had a man come to us at the Soup Kitchen. I'll call him Kevin just to protect his privacy. And when he walked in, we could tell he was in pretty bad shape, but we don't ask any questions. He didn't have to fill out any paperwork. We invited him in, and he was able to get a hot meal. And while he was sitting in the dining room, one of our mental health professionals looked at him and noticed a couple things. She saw that he kept his head down to limit his interaction with other people. He seemed kind of depressed, and he had an exaggerated startle reflex where if somebody dropped something and made a loud noise, he would throw out his hands, kind of like a baby does. And those are all symptoms of somebody with post-traumatic stress disorder. So our mental health professional went up to him and very gently started a conversation. And Kevin opened up and shared that he had been homeless for the past year and also that he was a veteran. Well, that same day, we had our veteran outreach worker right here in the dining room. Within 1 month, David helped him find housing, lined him up with another program that paid for his first and last month's rent, and also arranged it so that his disability payments would be going to his new home. And it is amazing the transformation in Kevin's life.
Everybody gets the picture of the homeless guy as like the Bowery, you know, sleeping in a gutter and dirty and not taking care of himself, or he's definitely an alcoholic, and that's just not true either. You might be surprised to find, if you speak to these people, their educations, where they're from, that many of them were married and had families, and just something happened that put them in this position. Once upon a time, I was a New Jersey public school, high school teacher. I also taught in college. I lost my life to alcohol and I became homeless. I lived on the streets right here in Morris County. I slept in abandoned buildings. I slept under garages of stores. I would find basements I could sneak into to sleep. I was terribly addicted to alcohol to the point of physical. I lost, I used to say I lost my marriage, not seeing my son, that I lost my job, all my money, my house. But see, that would be a lie. I didn't lose it, I gave it away for this substance, a substance called alcohol. I tried, and you know where I ended up? I actually ended up in prison. That's where I ended up. That's what alcohol did for me. And I tried for a very, very long period of time to stop drinking and find another life. And I went to just an amazing amount of rehabilitation centers trying to get this right, and never really put 2 feet in. And just to tell you a funny story, when I was in Morristown homeless, walking around, I used to look at this building and see the Jesus Save sign, and I used to think, as long as I don't end up in there, I'm okay. And I don't know what. I looked it up one day and I read about the program, and it was beyond what I thought it could be, and I walked in here begging them to take me in. And they did, and this place saved my life.
I came here basically because I needed help. Started off using drugs and drinking alcohol very, very young. My father was a heavy drinker, so when I was a baby, he used to babysit me. His idea of babysitting was to put beer in my bottle so that I could sleep. And that kind of turned me off from milk at that point. I did not like drink milk, and I still don't drink white milk. I had 6 brothers. One was murdered. And I have 2 brothers that are 10 and 9 years older than me. And when I was coming up, when I was younger, growing up, they were my idols. So whatever they did, I wanted to do. So when they used to drink, I used to drink. When they smoked cigarettes, I smoked cigarettes. When they smoked reefer, I smoked reefer. When they did drugs, I did drugs. And that set me on a road of destruction. So basically, it ended up me doing, as I got older, it improved my choices of making all the wrong choices. I was in prison half my life, courts for drug charges, gun charges. I had numerous jobs, some bad. I never mind working, but during the whole time I was still in my addiction. And it didn't work for me. And then one day, I actually got tired. And I called my younger brother, and I told him, I was like, I'm tired of this life and I want to change. And he told me to sit down, and he was gonna call somebody that we knew. And this young lady, her name is Priscilla. And I called her, which I grew up with her, and I spoke to her. And she said, well, I work for somebody that might can help you. And the person she introduced me to was a man named Jerome Young. He brings a lot of people up here, and he told me about this place. And I was like, yeah, actually, I didn't mind. But at first, my plans were just to go into a detox and do a 30-day program. And he was like, how are you gonna do a 30-day program? That's not gonna help you. A 30-day program is like taking your car for an oil change. You got all clean fluids and everything, but the engine is still crappy. So it's gonna run crappy. So he's like, what do you think about long-term programs? So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And he brought me here to Mark Street Mission. And my life's been up ever since. I graduated the program, and they asked me to stay on and help out, and I did. And now I'm just trying to help other people come out the place where I've been. And that's my story.
Because of certain conditions, I'm in the position that I'm in right now. And I used to have a big house, made a lot of money, and because certain things in my life that happened, losing some children and getting hurt and out of work, I find myself in this spot. But I still manage to make the best of it. It's kind of the serenity prayer. I'm not overly religious, but it's God grant me the be able to accept the things that can change and deal with the things I can't, and wisdom to know the difference. They're kind of the same thing. I managed to keep positive attitude. And the people in this town are good. Young, old, white, black, don't matter. Everybody's cool. So it's kind of an interesting experience. I've never been in this position, but I'm making the best of it. And I know things will get better, so I just keep smiling and laughing.